Hello everyone, Green Gemini here, and welcome to an Oxygen Not Included tutorial. Today we are going to be covering oxygen masks. This is something that I've had some questions on the channel, and kind of want to give a really short version of some simplicities when it comes to using these. This isn't the end-all be-all, this is just going to be some tips, tricks, and a little bit of how-tos on how to work these. So we're going to go into my test planet here, and let's see what we're going to do with this. All right, here we are in my little test planet that I've got. I can't remember exactly what this one is, but I believe we are in the Spaced Out DLC. I've gone through and done a lot of different things with this already, but let's do the simple thing here, and let's look at our oxygen mass. So when you're in the research queue, for some reason my really helps if I actually have research available. Let's see here, stations and research station, which of course I've got debug mode on, and that's kind of the only way to do this. So if we look at our research and we go down to, where is it? I believe gases. Yes, so in gases, right? It's a fairly easy research to get. You just need novice research. You don't need any advanced research, anything like that. So you can get this done pretty quickly. So what we want is we want the oxygen mask, we want the checkpoint, and we also want the mask itself to do in the crafting station. Now, you also need to complete that research as well for the crafting station, which is up here in your colony deployment and looking at your crafting station there. So now that we've got that done, the good thing about the crafting station is that, so we go into here to stations, you want to look for your crafting station, we'll get that placed down. That also requires some electricity, so again, in dev mode here, we're just gonna pop a generator down here, and we're just gonna link up some electricity. Okay, now, with this, we have, clicking on that, so you have all different types of ores that you can use for this, right? You've got aluminum, cinnabar, which is, I think, new to the, what is it, the Frost DLC? I can't remember exactly the name of it. It's been a while. Anyway, copper ore, iron ore, and then obviously the worn masks. So, first thing that I want to do is take a look at, we've got a bunch of copper ore, so let me go ahead and create 4 of those. So I'm going to have the dupes go ahead and take care of that once the cycle takes off here. And then, which of course I got a bunch of these already done, but I was doing some test things here. So anyway. So what I want to do now that we have those being made, we're going to have the dupes go in here, and under, if we take debug off, no, we're just going to leave it on. So if we go in and look at our stations, we're going to have our oxygen mask dock and then our oxygen mask checkpoint in here. So our checkpoint, that's where we're going to place. So the white part right there, this is where the actual checkpoint is going to go. So I'm going to put one checkpoint there, and I'm going to put a checkpoint here. And then your oxygen mask docks will need to go right after that, in that direction that it's going. Now, if you have, say, this, and you need to go the other direction, right? You can hit O, you can go ahead and put it the other way. But if you have it, say, like that, and then try and do something like this, that's going to be wrong. They're not going to be able to go through that direction. That's not right. That doesn't work that way. So if we get 2 of these put up here. All right, so we have that. So this is telling us that there is no mask assigned to it, right? And then there is no gas intake. So we need to ensure that we have our pipes hooked up to this for oxygen intake. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. If you go this route, if you go in this direction, okay, so your oxygen will fill in this first one here first, and then once that one is full, it'll then jump over to this one and then fill this one up. Or you can have it to where it goes like this, And then you can have the oxygen, it will go into this one and then split and go into this one. So this one will still fill up a little bit faster, but it will split it between the two to fill them up almost simultaneously. My preferred method is to have it go like this, fill this one up, go to the next one, fill that one up, go to the next one, and so on and so forth. That's just how I am. I did a little test to see if, this would create any difference whatsoever when it came to filling this in. It does not. It does not matter. It fills it the exact same way. It's just a matter of preference on, do you want the oxygen to split between all of the ones that you have up here? So say if you had, 6 of these sitting up here, right? Do you want it to fill in this first one and then go all the way? Or do you want it to split between all of them? Again, it's preference on what you want to do, okay? So we'll get rid of that. Next thing that I want to do, obviously, is we need to get our oxygen in here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. It defaults here to oxygen. So we're going to let that happen. So now that we've got that connected, next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and hit deliver suit on all 4 of these here. So here's the thing that you need to take into consideration when it comes to using these oxygen masks, okay? So with these oxygen masks, they do not protect the duplicants from harm. So they don't protect them from liquid or heat or cold or stuff like that, right? They're still going to get sopping wet if they come into water. They're still going to get heat stroke. They'll still get cold, hypothermia, all of that kind of stuff is going to happen. In order to avoid that, you need the actual Atmos suits, which we're not talking about that in this video. We're just talking about the gas mask. The other thing about the gas mask is that the gas masks actually still allow the dupes to exhale CO2, carbon dioxide, okay? So if they have this on, they're still going to emit CO2 wherever they are. So if I were to take these guys here and put Doc over here, have them come into here, they're going to exhale, and then we will fill this chamber with some CO2, unfortunately. So we don't want to do that, right? The only thing with something like this is you want to make sure that you're using an Atmos suit so that they are not exhaling when they go through. Okay, so now we've got this, and you're asking, why do I have this here? Okay, so say we need to actually go down, dig deeper. Let me just kind of dig this out a little, and we're going to take this ladder down. Right, and say I've got all of this. Can I just deconstruct that? I can. Let's just get rid of all this stuff. Okay. So we've got all of this happening here, okay? Again, they will still have the elements to deal with and all that kind of stuff, but now we see where Hassan now has his little mask on here. Now, if we take a look at him, it's saying chilly surroundings. He's hungry. He's got chilly surroundings. He's sopping wet, okay? So he is trying to come down here and get something, which of course he's moving a little bit slowly at doing it, but that's just kind of what he's doing. So you can see how if we go to our gas overlay, go, and he's going to get sopping wet. So he's trying to get down here and everything. He's moving kind of slowly. It is what it is. Oh, they're coming down to get the sleet wheat. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so here's the other thing too. Okay, so we have all of these guys in here. We have 3 different ones using these Atmos suits. To make sure that we are preventing one of them to come up, so say we've filled these 2, to prevent the other one from coming up here and to force them up here, we actually need to change our vacancies on these. So right now this is set to always, even though this says clearance vacancy, right? It is actually at the opposite. It is set to always. So any dupe can go through here regardless of if there's an open dock or not. We click on clearance vacancy, then what that means is that the suited duplicant may only pass if there is an available dock to store their suit. So when we do that, that will limit to how many dupes can actually come through here. So say, we've got these 2 dupes here, we've got a 3rd dupe here. That 3rd dupe will not be able to come here. Once these 2 docks are filled, it'll force him to come up here, which of course we're going to also need to change this one to vacancy as well. Now, Always does mean that suited dupes may pass even if there is no open room to store their suits. When all available docks are full, duplicates will unequip their suit and drop them to the floor. So they will remain right here, which we don't want to do, right? That we don't want to have happen. To give an example of that, say I'm going to take this here, and we have an area where the dupes have some oxygen over here. We want them to be able to kind of, go this way without the mass. So let me go ahead and put 2 down here, even though we have a total of 4. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this down here because we still have to connect oxygen up to these. Then what you can do is that you can actually take this and click on leave empty. So then what this is going to allow the dupe to do, just like what Meep did here, is that he was allowed to pass by over here, put his oxygen mask into the dock there, and move on. Now, word of caution with this, though, is that if you end up having a worn oxygen mask, once he puts it in there, it's going to fall to the ground. He's not going to have a way of going back up. So it is recommended to take a crafting station like this and have it on the opposite side of this so that if and when, because it will, I'm not going to say if, I'm saying when it happens, that mask becomes unusable, he is able to bring it right over here and have the oxygen worn mask taken care of, which of course we also have to make sure that is on forever. And we also make sure that this one is on forever as well. Now, the good thing about this is that it just needs the worn oxygen mask in order to recoup it. It does not need any additional resources in order to use, which is very thankful. So now that we have that set up, let's do a little bit of an example. And here it is at nighttime, so we are going to have to wait until the dupes wake up. All right, now that our dupes have woken up, dupes are a little bit miserable right now, but that's okay. This is just a test environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Abe and I'm going to move him to here. I'm going to move Meep to here as well. And then we're also going to move Frankie to here too. So once we get all of them done, okay, so we have all of them here, boom, done, okay. And then I'm going to take this. We need to switch this to vacancy, right? So now that this is set to where only 2 dupes should be able to move through here. So if we move Frankie over to here, I'm going to move Abe over to... I can't move Abe over to here. Why can't I move Abe over to here? Probably because Meep already has a move location. See, he is going to move right here past that dock, so I'm not able to move Abe over here at all because there is no vacancy. So we have these 2 that just went past. Because these are full, Abe can no longer move over here, and we are set. The other good thing about this too, of what you can do, is that we have all of these that are set up and everything so that the dupes will not be able to bypass where they are going to. And then if you wanted to, you can also set up some atmosuit stations over here to where, say, you're having to go down through a deep tunnel of CO2, right? And they still need to be able to breathe, so that mask will help with that. Then you can set up your docking stations over here, or I'm sorry, you're not your docking stations, your atmosuits over here. They can come over here and then go into, say, your higher temperature areas or what have you. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. Just a little word for everyone. If you would like to, please check out rptcandlecompany.com, which is my new candle company that I have launched just recently. It has been a lot of fun getting that candle company taken care of. And don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and like the video for future Oxygen Not Included tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.